Through everything, Pop-Tarts are still okay.
This is what strawberry tastes like.
No, this is artificial crap strawberry. That is bullshit. It'd be like giving the kids a bunch of runts. Candy meal. This is what fruit tastes like.
We are going on the trip now. It's going to be rough. It's going to feel like it's going on for a long time, so it's going to be hard to stay alert. It's going to be even harder to be quiet, but you have to do both.
Is she describing the movie?
You're telling us this does not appear to be pathological or viral, and U.S. authorities are advising the public to remain calm.
So far, this is the happening all over again.
A whole bunch of people sitting together, but they all feel incredibly lonely.
Oh, I wonder if that's like insight into like maybe Sandra Bullock's character.
And what we really need to do is get you...
She definitely doesn't act like a painter.
What does that mean?
She doesn't. She does not act like somebody who's working on a painting that big, and is like just standing here talking about it.
Well, all she's doing is painting the top black part because they were like, don't actually touch the good part.
She's treating it too casually. People who paint casually as like a stress reliever or whatever are not people who actually make good paintings. Those are two opposites.
Wow, there's a lot of like 8-year-olds who would beg to differ.
Yeah, I mean, their parents, they're pushing them in all the wrong directions. They're saying like, you're good enough already. Like, you don't need to work any harder. Typical problem with today's society. Another problem is people watching movies like Bird Box.
It's called pregnancy. It's okay to say it out loud.
Oh, don't you know, Doctor, that if you just don't acknowledge a thing, it simply goes away.
Oh, really? All this time I had no idea.
I like how they're all such good friends.
So this is what David Koepp's screenplays are like. You have your characters that make distinct personality exploring statements right away. Like, you find out who your characters are right away. Like, that's kind of his trademark. I don't think he wrote this screenplay, but I'm just saying, like, it feels like he did.
You okay in there?
I always hated movies like this, when people are throwing up in a toilet in like a public restroom and they're like down on the floor.
Yeah.
Can you not stand up?
And their hands are all over the toilet too.
Yeah. So this kind of makes me think of the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Yeah. And the opening, like when she's like, yeah. That was what, 2004?
Yeah. The problem is, like, in that movie, you knew what it was. Like, you knew it was zombies and whatever.
Yeah, and the happening you didn't know. It was really like the grass. Do animals go crazy?
I was about to ask that. I don't know. Well, the birds don't. I don't think. So why did she see it? Like, what about everybody else that's like out there? Like, why? I don't know.
So when they see it, it makes them go crazy?
Yeah.
And have suicidal tendencies?
I was going to say they'll explain later, but they don't really explain everything.
Look at all that sugar glass on the room. At least that's one thing Friday the 13th Part 9 can say above everything else. We used real glass. We put people in real danger.
Why are you running in the middle of the street? Why is there like a crowd of people all of a sudden? Like, you'd think like they'd be not running in the middle of the street when cars are like exploding around them.
It's got John Malkovich in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know how I feel about John Malkovich.
Yeah, you love him, I know. I don't know why. He's a freaking weirdo.
Yeah, this movie just took another step up.
Oh, yeah. What's the
Oh, it's
name?
B.D. Wong!
Yeah, B.D. Wong. Doctor Strange.
I was thinking like Law and Order or Jurassic Park
Yeah, what's
or
his name in
freaking
Jurassic
Mulan.
Park? It's Dr. Wu.
So what if they see it on TV?
They'll explain that.
Oh.
Well, they won't explain it, but you'll see what happens.
Okay. Does the TV go crazy and start showing like reruns of the real Ghostbusters or something?
Fucks with your nervous system. I've been seeing it in my clients for weeks, I'm telling you.
Hey, did I mention I'm a fucking cop?
You're in the academy, doesn't make you a cop.
What, like a lame little character moment.
They don't know what it is yet, okay? We just all gotta try to stay calm.
I mean, like, they talked about the horses.
So at 3 o'clock, I'm gonna go check out an Arabian stud in Sausalito.
Oh, see, now that is a sentence you don't hear every day. Only the foreman wondering where I am. I just told you horses. Yeah.
You would think she's gonna be like, hey, we need to go get horses, but they never do.
We were digging a foundation, and then my contractor just lies down in front of the bulldozer.
See, it's like you find out the background of the character like right away as soon as they start talking.
It makes you kill yourself.
And you just look at it.
Commit suicide.
They have the same information we do, but somehow they're piecing things together, and they're right.
Humanity has been judged, and we've been found wanting.
Judged by who?
Look, some random guy starts talking, and everybody's like, what do you have to say about it? Like, let's listen.
That takes on the form of your worst fears or
Your deepest sadness or your greatest loss?
This is not it.
He was quiet a while ago, but all of a sudden he knows everything. He's just telling everybody about everything.
I'm working on a novel, guys.
Hey, wait, hold on.
I hate all these characters so far.
Yeah, don't worry, it'll get worse.
Oh, good.
So what do we know about whatever it is? It casts a shadow.
When she was looking at it, and then the other, like, Sandra Bullock, like, looked up, like, 3 seconds later, it was already gone.
Did it disappear? Or did it move?
Really
did
fast?
It fly away?
Like, totally out of their field of vision? Because
I mean,
when she was looking at it, she was looking like it was far in the distance, not like it was right in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, they were right out in the middle of the street. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the terrible CGI birds in this movie.
Hey, how long's our food gonna last?
So this is like The Mist. Well, especially because, like, the one dude, like, sued, what's his face?
David Drayton.
No, the actor.
Thomas Jane.
Yeah, Thomas Jane. Tom J. TJ.
TJ Ouija, as I call him.
I mean, it didn't even work there.
Yeah.
1 second.
Hey.
I mean, why is she, like, picking up the gun all of a sudden?
She's an empowered American white woman.
Everything that you know about the characters is basically superficial. You don't actually know what they're like thinking or.
The gun, please.
Yeah, before you kill someone with it, since you have no idea how it works.
That doesn't prove anything because anybody who has ever seen a movie in their life would know how to do that.
You're so fucking trapped.
Maybe not.
I've learned how to alter dinosaur DNA. Okay, so let's see what happens if he sees in the camera.
So they tied him up so he wouldn't like hurt himself or whatever, and then they just like close the door and leave him alone in the room.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't shown that whatever it is tries to enter residences or can like break stuff or whatever. So why don't they just leave all the windows down? Why do they need the guy to watch via the camera?
They're trying to test to see if they could use a camera to see outside or whatever.
And he volunteered? No, I wouldn't volunteer.
I would. Like I think I would be okay. We'll find out later that I would be wrong, but that's what I would have thought in real life.
So you would not survive. You'd be like the first person to die. Okay, so who's the pervert?
You mean besides me? That guy.
The world's ending, baby, so you never know.
See, look, like, what is this? Is this character development?
Maybe. He looks like he could also be a thug in the first Ninja Turtles movie back in 1990. Be like, join up with Sam Rockwell. You go check out the East Warehouse on Landman Island. Get your answers there.
But it's not one of those kid stories, you know, where they all got crossbows and they're killing each other to survive or running around some giant maze.
I mean, of all things, they're taking a shot at the Maze Runner. Like,
yeah. Oh, what's happening? The leaves! The leaves will drive him crazy.
Yeah, maybe that's why you should have kept somebody in the room just in case. Why did she need to have her eyes closed, though? Just don't look at the monitor.
Yeah, just don't look at it.
Yeah. I mean, if Perseus could defeat Medusa like 6,000 years ago or whatever, like, I think you should be okay.
He also had his wits.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what these people really need.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they're basically acting like 5-year-olds. So it's like, don't look at this, and the first thing they do is look at it.
Sorry.
That's something you can't unsee.
Okay, you're joking about people, like, committing mass suicide? I mean, that's, like, the most inappropriate time to make a joke like that. Or, like, if he was, like, eating some cereal and he's like, oh, this is so bad, it makes me want to kill myself. In reality, she would not be able to stay in the middle of the river.
Yeah, well,
she would be, like, going, like, bouncing into the bank all the time. And,
the entire idea of blindfolded going down a freaking river is like the dumbest thing ever, but it gets worse. I mean, the idea that you need to actually physically wear a blindfold, why not just close your eyes? That way you can immediately open them if you need to see something. Also, remember that she's blindfolded.
Yeah.
She just managed to, like, beat this guy freaking blindfolded.
Yeah.
She should join the Avengers.
He could just move to the side, or, like, onto the other side of the boat, or stop yelling at her, and then she wouldn't know where he was.
I might know where we can get more.
Where, Charlie?
The Fields Market, you see, right?
You're just telling us this?
What do you mean you're just telling us that? Where else would you go for food? Why would nobody else?
And he says that he locked it up?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's windows. People could just break through the glass windows.
Yeah.
I gave you the information. That's all you needed from me. You don't need me to tell you where to go. It is a supermarket.
Okay, I'm gonna guess that this guy is like a stand-up comedian or something in real life.
I was gonna say because John Malkovich is an ass in real life.
How is driving blind safe?
We're not. We got the GPS.
What? Oh, man.
Okay, so in Buffy, Spike, paints up his car so he can drive during the day. And he's always got to like peek out there like the, you know, just the little pieces that he can see. That's fine because he's a vampire. He's gonna survive if he gets in a crash or whatever.
I mean, if they drive any faster than like 2 miles an hour.
Also, like, you don't need 5 people.
Yeah.
You don't want to take a pregnant woman with you. Why the hell would you do that? If you're a pregnant woman, why would you volunteer to go?
I mean, if you just put like silly sounding music, this could easily turn to a comedy right now.
Top mile, turn right onto Bay Street.
What is that? It's a curve. Just a curve.
Turn right here.
I mean, that's so vague. Like, when you're actually driving, you can't... And where's the turn? There's nothing there.
Yeah.
How did he know to go around that car?
It's got the proximity sensor.
But that's not how it works. Oh, man.
It does in this movie.
Okay, so you know it casts a big black shadow.
Yeah, already got that.
Yeah, and it makes wind and, like, stereotypical, like, horror movie noises. I mean, why is he driving that fast?
Because he said we just gotta move for some reason. He said just waiting. I mean, couldn't they just look at the ground the whole time?
Oh man. It always seems to make noises when it shows up and stuff.
Yeah.
And like blow wind around and cast like a big shadow.
And make CGI leaves appear out of nowhere.
You know, look at the ground in a direction where the sun is coming from behind you, so if it comes up on you, you're going to see its shadow first. I mean, it's amazing that these people have like survived this long.
I couldn't even make it through my own house blindfolded. Like from one side to the other.
Yeah, I have enough trouble when I can see.
I'm not cleaning this shit up.
See, that's not funny.
Yeah, I'm done.
You don't make jokes like that in a situation like this. That's like one of those mainstream audience ha-ha moments.
I have a big announcement to make.
I can see why you like John Malkovich so much.
Stop saying that.
He's
People
got
think
so
I
much like charisma.
I can't stand John Malkovich. He's almost as bad as James Remar.
Never give up hope.
That's not funny. James Remar is an actor. John Malkovich is just a weirdo who like knows people. John Carl Buechler did the effects in this movie too. That crooked mouth.
Yeah, I can just see him just going.
We have years supply of food and drink right here.
I mean, even though I can't stand John Malkovich, I'm on his side.
Yeah. Oh wait, why did she take the birds?
Maybe because she felt sorry. I don't know.
I mean, that many people, like, grab a weapon. The one guy has a gun, but he's not doing anything with it. Like, everybody else could grab
why did he
something.
stand behind the door with the gun? Why did he just, like, kick him or something?
Yeah. Come on, it's not like anybody liked that guy. So many people have died already, like the entire world.
No, they're sad because they're never going to read his book. Oh, we don't get the enjoyment of watching them try and get back and avoid all the traffic that way, too?
Another novel I won't have to read.
He saved us, you fucking asshole!
All these characters behave in, like, the most one-dimensional ways.
But I'm here and she's gone, and you know why that is? Because in the end, there are only 2 types of people, the assholes and the dead.
I mean, this is all character exploration.
But I don't care about any of these characters.
Yeah.
They've not given me any reason to do so.
They have all the setup here. They have, like, the right potential for, like, a good story. It's the same as, like, Dawn of the Dead or something, where you just have characters hold up.
Mm-hmm.
And you explore their different perspectives on what's going on. You know, Night of the Living Dead, same thing. But those movies were interesting.
And he's like, there's assholes and they're dead. Like, once he dies, she'd be like, now you're a dead asshole.
Yeah, see, that's why you don't row down a river blindfolded with kids in it, and that's why you don't have the kids just like sitting up there like idiots.
No, all the food in the blankets. God damn it!
Go back in the water and get it for me.
I bet those kids hated her at the end of every day of filming. All this mean woman does is yell at us.
I don't think you need to say more than once, don't leave the boat. You know, these kids are like, they've had to deal with this their whole life.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate kind of situation where you need to make sure you raise your kids right, where they're going to know how to handle the situation and know how to act. But she just like treats them like just kids off the street or whatever.
I guess she didn't say it enough times.
I mean, why do we care, like, what happens to her or them?
Well, so far, all I've seen them do is nothing and fall out of a boat. I'm, like, deep into this character development. Maybe falling out of the boat is symbolic. I don't follow Carl Jung that much, like, I don't know what it would mean. Oh, man, there's CGI leaves.
The fact that the birds start chirping when a monster's near, that's such an easy way to, like, build up tension. Like, you know something's coming, but it's like, when is it coming? Like, where is it coming from? Like, what's going to happen? But they never do it.
Not in the whole movie?
I mean, What was that?
CGI leaves.
Yeah. I mean, they did it when they were in the supermarket, but like you already knew something was up with that guy because he was being weird.
What does she expect to do when she finds her?
How does she expect to find her in the first place?
Yeah, if she finds her.
I mean, I blame the direction as much as anything else, but like she's not acting worried at all or anything.
I mean, you can make even young kids like act well.
I mean, even then, she's not acting like scared or anything. She's just like, oh, I'm getting dragged.
I know, like she didn't even cry out or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have told her like pretend to cry or like pretend to be scared, but they're just like just sit there.
I think the fact that you have kids there, as the audience, you're supposed to automatically feel, you know, like worried for them or whatever.
I don't have any reason to be like attached to those kids.
Yeah, I mean, kids are still characters. You still got to do something.
I mean, if anything, I have a reason to not like them because the one knocked all the food out of the boat.
But no, like legitimately, because the one stupid girl like walked out like an idiot and didn't do like what Mallory or whatever told her to do.
And we're supposed to feel like the little girl cares about her and that's why she did it, but I didn't feel that at all.
Is that what we're supposed to feel? Because I don't even know.
Maybe. While you're yawning, I can tell. You're really into this movie. I mean, he's probably saying something like, oh, my character development and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, shit. Look at that cut. Oh, that was so good. The hands and the hands. Best cinematography Oscar. Boom. Best CGI leaves Oscar. Boom. I bet at the end the big reveal is when she finally sees it, it's a reflection of herself.
Wait, so what happened earlier? What was pulling on her rope or whatever? When the bed frame was getting pulled over and stuff?
I don't know.
Was it the monster? Like, it would have to be the monster, I guess. So can it pull on things? Can it physically interact with stuff other than making leaves like levitate?
Maybe. I guess we'll have to wait and find out, or maybe not find out, and then just ask all those questions at the end.
Could it break a window?
We'll have to wait for the third movie of the trilogy.
Turn a doorknob?
Bird Box, but the X is a 3.
Third box.
Yeah.
All right, so this movie hasn't been good so far.
What?
Correct? No, I'm
just
saying, like,
it has not been good so far. No.
This is the point where it gets like way worse, is when this guy shows up.
Oh, good.
So he's saying that people escaped from an asylum and tried to force them to look at the...
Okay.
The scariest thing was they weren't wearing blindfolds.
See, again, they couldn't just have their eyes closed, like, while they're outside? Every single character in this movie, none of them are ever conflicted or unsure. They're all just like, I'm on this side or I'm on that side. John Malkovich is like, get the hell out, and everybody else is like, put the gun down.
Gotta be simplistic to get people to watch your movie. Because I'm sure even after this movie came out, people were like, wait, I don't understand. But like not in the way because it doesn't make sense, but because they were like, they don't understand facts presented to them.
And then she's like, what the f*** am I supposed to do with this? You couldn't bring me like a can of beans or like something I can use?
Like some candles or a flashlight? Or like...
I can't eat this.
Is that supposed to be her daughter?
See, when I watch this, I've heard of some people saying like, she's pregnant, the other woman's pregnant, they're both due around the same time, so it must be the other woman's kid. I thought that was going to be a fake out, that the movie was like a little smarter than that and was trying to like make you think that that's what was going to happen.
But that's what it is.
But that's what it is. Yeah. It goes back and forth in time. So you know that she's alive with her kids at this point. But,
right.
I mean, you don't know what happened to the other characters, I guess.
I'm just assuming they die somehow.
Yeah, I mean, that's what people assume. What's the benefit of going back and forth? I think it's because it just made it easier to write, because then you don't have to, like, figure out how to get to the next scene. You just cut to a scene from somewhere else and then cut back to a new scene. But it doesn't add anything to the story. It doesn't make it more complex or more interesting. There's no, like, oh, that's why, like, in the future, like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, so he's locked up in there. He's always making that dumb face.
So he's basically the Blair of this movie.
I don't want to stay out here anymore. I want to come back inside.
I'm feeling much better now.
Did you understand me? I want to come back inside. I'm okay now. I don't have diabetes anymore.
Yeah, wait for John Malkovich to go crazy and start smashing stuff, then he would truly be Blair. Yeah, that woman looks like she was probably a midwife back in like the 1500s.
You two doing great.
Oh, shut up.
See, that's supposed to be funny.
I try and make jokes, but like...
So this is where, believe it or not, this is where the movie falls apart. At first it'll seem potentially interesting, because you'll be like, oh, maybe we'll get some more information.
I mean, he's pretty good. Wow. That's how you do that? I've been drawing the wrong way my whole life, I guess. So when did he go crazy, though? I mean, by looking at the pictures of the things, did he go crazy, or what? Because his eyes weren't like that before.
Yeah, well, that's my question is, what's with the eyes? But the implication is that he's been crazy the whole time.
Yeah, I get it, but like...
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense.
How did he conceal it?
Yeah. See, why are you shouting no? Yeah, just don't look. If the creatures could get in on their own, but you also couldn't look at them.
Right. Nobody's looked at his eyes? I mean, he looks like he just jumped out of Troll 2.
Just don't look at the window.
Yeah.
So, like, why do some people kill themselves and some people don't? They say that it's like the crazy people that don't, but when they say crazy people, what are they talking about? Oh, and here's one of those dumb movie moments. Oh, they're both reaching for the gun. Like, what's going to happen?
Let's build the tension as much as we can.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen considering we already know they're all alive later.
I couldn't have announced it was me earlier because then it would have broken the tension. So what if you go crazy gradually just from the stress and everything?
Yeah, well, exactly. What does that mean? What does it mean to be crazy? And then that's it, 5 years later. Everything that has come up to this point doesn't really matter. It just shows you where the kids came from. What do you know about her or this guy that is important that you wouldn't have known if the movie started right here? The story should be interesting as it's happening.
Right.
We shouldn't be saying, when's she going to get to the river already?
The real question is, like, since they're on the run and everything, when does he find time to, like, work out?
Fastest way to get here is by the river, and I don't think you could make it with kids.
Yeah, sure, it's the fastest way, but I mean,
if it's been 5 years and they know all the crazy people are trying to, like...
Well, not only that, what is the emergency? Why do they need to get there so fast? They've been surviving. They have their own place out here and everything.
Every single summer we would take it to the lake.
Oh my god, I've never seen these kids emote so much.
Yeah, I mean, this guy clearly knows how to, like, handle kids better. Which is part of the theme of the movie. Like, she doesn't want to be a parent or whatever. But it's, like, stupid.
One day we saw this really, really big oak tree. We climbed it until we got to the top. Guess what we saw when we got to the top?
Boy, girl, time for bed.
Yeah, see, they should have had her die and he stay with them, because then they'd get better acting out of these kids.
I'm not a big fan of her just calling them boy and girl. Like,
yeah, because it's stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if it's been 5 years.
You know what I saw at the top of the tree? I saw a nest.
Cool. I don't really care.
Yeah, don't worry, she'll give them an alternate answer later. That is the dumbest thing ever.
I mean, the dumbest thing I can think of is John Malkovich. She's like, I saw John Malkovich. Through everything, Pop-Tarts are still okay.
This is what strawberry tastes like.
No, this is artificial crap strawberry. That is bullshit. It'd be like giving the kids a bunch of runts. Candy meal. This is what fruit tastes like. Whoa, dude, he's like super accurate.
Yeah. What? How did he do that?
Totally silent.
Don't look at it, you idiot! Normal people, I think, could operate even in those circumstances. Just don't look at it. Don't be an idiot. And those crazy people, how crazy are they? Are they, like, getting their own food? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Why
how are
did
they
those
living?
gunshots make her stop when the other ones didn't? The only interesting character just died.
Her character hasn't changed at all over the course of the movie.
And she still hates these kids.
Yeah. Well, also, like, we're almost done with this movie, and it's taken us this long to get back to where the movie freaking started. Like, it's basically
that's
been just, like,
intentional,
treading
but,
water
like, it's
the whole
so
time.
poorly done.
Is it less of a risk to hope you're going to find food, like going on foot?
Right.
Or to freaking, like, do something that would be dangerous if you could see and you were with experienced people and not, like, little children?
Keep ringing, I hear you, keep ringing!
Ring the bell so I can hear you. How about you just yell? Oh, man. I mean, it's like the implausibilities just keep stacking on each other.
I mean, when they got to the rapids, why couldn't they just walk along the side of the river instead?
I mean, knowing these kids, they might, like, walk into the river. So you see that the plants are getting pushed around.
Mm-hmm.
So the things can apparently, you know, physically affect things. These dumb kids, they're just like, all right, let's just walk in random directions.
Different directions.
Not in the direction that we heard her fall in.
And not with each other, holding onto each other.
Yeah.
Boy, girl, where are you?
He's not walking fast either. It's not like he would be out of ear range.
Yeah.
It's safe?
No, that's not me!
I mean, okay, yeah, after 5 years, why would you just assume that she would tell... I mean, obviously the monster's telling him this or whatever.
Right.
But he can also hear her. I mean, I get that she's a terrible parent, but I doubt these kids are that stupid.
Come on, keep ringing, keep ringing. Oh my God, I got you.
See, why doesn't he say, I'm right here, I can hear you? Like, oh, man. I can just imagine, like, what the filmmakers think of blind people. They're just, like, stumbling around all the time. I'm over here! What? Where did that come from? Oh, like, I can't find
I've never played Marco Polo in a pool, ever.
Or, like, been in the dark. Or closed my eyes.
I shouldn't have ended Tom's story because it wasn't finished. He saw us. He saw us from the very top. He saw us together, and we have to be.
Now she suddenly decides, like, I can't live without my kids or whatever. But it's like should be the opposite because these are like the worst kids ever, and it would be like, all right, you blew it. Like you fucking walked off into the woods and left me like
She'd
down
be like,
at the
oops,
bottom.
I
Of this ravine
tripped
or whatever.
again. Like, see ya.
Where are you, Mel? I need help. Just take a peek and find me.
See, I mean, like it's so obvious Like, it's like the monster or whatever doesn't even try to pretend that it's, like, actually a person. Oh, yeah, so you can see that the monster is, like, directly, Evil Deading its way through the forest. So, clearly they can affect, like, the environment. Why can't they get into a house? Why can't they knock them down and, like, take their blindfold off or something? What is the goal of the monsters? Do they want to kill everybody? Because if so, they could just knock them down a ravine again or whatever, or knock a tree onto them.
What if they had, like, frosted glass windows or, like, stained glass? That would be okay, right? We don't let all the light in.
Those are the questions that are, like, so simple that they're too complicated for this movie. Okay, yeah, they're at a school for the blind.
Yeah.
And it's out in the middle of the woods. Like, out past some rapids or whatever. All these, like, CGI birds that'll be flying around. The birds are, like, flying around right above them. But, like, birds leave droppings. Yeah, see, what happens if they have, like, a bad season and the plants all dry
the winter.
up?
You let the birds go. Maybe with their friends. Should we do that?
We'll go to an acting
Look,
school.
look at those birds.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Mallory?
Oh, look.
Seriously?
Somehow.
Man.
Why? I mean, there's no reason. Like, it doesn't... She doesn't have some kind of connection to her. How does she even remember who she is? That was 5 years ago. And she was some woman that she didn't like. That was freaking annoying. One patient out of, like, your bajillions.
Yeah, now she's like, you're a terrible parent. You called your children boy and girl.
Your name is Olivia.
That doesn't mean anything to me. She's been such a bitch to them their whole lives.
Yeah.
Your name is Tom.
Way to, like, bring up the memory of the guy that died, like, 2 days ago or whatever it was.
And every time someone calls out your name, you're going to think of your dad. She's so passive-aggressive. God, I can't stand her. Actually, she's probably like, oh my God, thank God I don't have to deal with those kids anymore. She turns right around, goes right back out there. She's like, see you.
Yeah, all of a sudden she's, like, such a loving parent. Happy ending. Happy ending.
This is the end of the movie? Are you serious?
Yeah.
That was awful. People are, like, talking about it, but I thought they were talking about it because it was bad. But people are talking about it because it's good. They think it's good.
I don't know what it was. Netflix did some kind of good, like, marketing thing where the Bird Box Challenge took off and they kind of, like, pushed it along by saying, like, in some cases saying, like, don't do the Bird Box Challenge or whatever, like, blah, blah, blah. And then people were like, what the hell's that? And then they went and looked it up and they're like, wow, people are idiots.
Yeah, the Bird Box Challenge is like watching the movie. I almost did it. I couldn't do it, though.
All right, so Turd Box.
I bet that took you, like, 3 hours to think of.
There's, like, a million questions that this movie raises.
Yeah.
As to, like, how
Why
everything
does it exist? Why did we watch it? How am I going to get that 2 hours of my life back?
The only way is to just kill yourself. That's what the message is.
Oh, that must be what it is.
Whoever made this movie had seen one of those things and was like, how can I get as many people to kill themselves as possible? Like, I'll make this movie and put it on Netflix.
Yeah,
and
when they were writing the script, they did it just like the guy with his pad where they're like...
So the creature can physically affect things. Creatures.
And they seem to be pretty big.
Yeah, well, first of all, like, what are they? Where did they come from? Like, the one guy, he says that he knows things about them, and since it's a movie, you're supposed to believe him that he knows what he's talking about somehow.
Right.
But then they kill him off, and you don't actually find out anything. If he didn't say what he supposedly knew, you'd still have the same information. Pretty much the only thing that they tell you is right away they tell you, like, you can't look at it. Every single character does the dumbest things in every situation. Most of them are, like, bad actors, at least in this movie.
Yeah, they were not good actors.
A good writer could come up with a good story around what this movie was.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid sci-fi concept, I think.
So many people are comparing it to other movies. I mean, obviously The Happening is not a good movie, but like A Quiet Place is such a similar idea. You didn't see A Quiet Place, but A Quiet Place was good.
Can't think of anything it did really well. And I was like, oh, at least that's like one saving grace, or oh, that's kind of cool. There really wasn't anything.
There were times in the movie that they were clearly trying to do like little set pieces, where it was like, this is going to be a memorable sequence. In particular, the driving scene, but it's so stupid. When you have characters that you actively hate,
who have no redeeming qualities,
and have no depth to them.
I mean, as soon as they show up, within the first 10 seconds of them opening their mouth, you know what kind of character they are, you know, like, everything about them.
Yeah.
There's no room for development whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, they almost tried with, like, John Malkovich, but it didn't go anywhere. And even in itself, it was so simplistic.
I mean, sure, for all these actors, it was so easy. It was such an easy job for them.
Yeah, I mean, Sandra Bullock's like, I gotta yell at kids for like 2 hours, like, sign me up. I always wanted to be a teacher. John Malkovich is like, you need some guy to make like dumb faces, like, in the background. Like, it looks like he's like trying to like drink through a straw, but there's nothing in his mouth. But he also looks like really, really confused all the time. Like, so confused that it's like he just woke up and is like...
Angrily confused.
Yeah, like, why are all you people in my house?
This isn't actually your house. This is a movie set. He's like, oh, I've been using the toilet for like the past 3 days.
We've only been shooting for 2 days. There's a way to do a movie where you don't know what the threat is exactly, but still make the movie good and interesting. And then there's a movie like this where it's important to know how it works.
Because the creatures are such a big part of the movie. It's not like something that's tangential off to the side. They are like a main character of the movie. I could see it would work way better if they just like talked about them and they only saw them on news reports. But like the fact that she encounters them personally so many times.
10 Cloverfield Lane is kind of the same thing where you have an apocalyptic situation outside where you're not sure what's really going on. People trapped in a location. And in that case, like John Goodman is saying all this like crazy stuff, but you don't know if he's telling the truth or not. Mm-hmm. And that movie's really good, at least up until the end.
But that's how it's done well.
Yeah.
In contrast to this.
Yeah, where you don't know what's going on. You don't know if there's even a threat. That's what the movie is about. This movie is about the creatures, but you don't know really anything about the creatures. To the point, like, you don't know what the creatures are trying to do. If the crazy people...
Whatever crazy means.
Yeah, wherever that line is, that suddenly it's like, oh, I'm crazy, like, I don't want to kill myself. If those people are trying to make other people see it, why are they trying to make other people see it? Is that their own motivation? Or are the creatures like imposing that on them and making them do that? And why are they making people kill themselves? They do like the voices and stuff, so it doesn't seem like it's just a reaction people have. It seems like the creatures are making them do that. Why? Like, is it like, are they demonic? Is it like God saying like, I'm gonna wipe out people again or whatever?
And again, we wouldn't be asking these questions if it wasn't such a critical point of the movie happening.
This is not one of those kinds of movies where you can leave those things open and have it still work, because that is literally what the movie is. Even if all those answers were there, these characters are so bland and stupid and unlikable that it's still, there's no way to make a good movie like that. I wouldn't say the movie is boring, because it keeps going forward. There's always something happening. There are like certain scenes where you're just like, just get on with it. Like, I don't care about this because it's dumb. And it's usually when people are in trouble because they're trying to build like suspense or whatever, but there's no way to do that if you don't care about what's happening and if you don't know what the creatures are capable of. I almost feel like somebody could recut this movie. I don't want to go so far as to say make it a good movie, because there's still questions that would need to be answered, but you could literally have cut like half of this movie out and it at least wouldn't have been as aggravating. Mm-hmm. With characters saying and doing stupid things, and with weird like time edits that don't add anything, and if anything like dissolve some of the tension because you already know what's going to happen.
I bet it would be better if you did that, but you also cut out all of the dialogue. No, you know what I mean? Make it like a...
That's where A Quiet Place comes in. Like, it actually like does it interestingly.
Checking out the reviews for Bird Box. Find the 10-star ratings. People who could not find a movie better than this one. Wow! Unlike many movies where you kind of guess the story and the plot, you absolutely cannot guess what will happen next. Full of shrew praises. First of all, is this the person with all the spaces in between, like, commas? No,
it might be.
Don't dare to listen to the negative comments.
It was one of the best movie I have seen lately.
The idea, story, ... exclamation point. It have so much details I liked. Recommended viewing if you want character development and a well-written story. Sandra Bullock is great with her emotions to a point I get angry. Imagine someone feeling like they're so good. Oh, it's making me so angry.
This film was actually phenomenal, whether anybody wants to agree with me or not.
I did not even grow up reading books religiously. Not a single character was wooden or generic.
But then, like, right after that, 2 characters I didn't really care about.
But that is hardly worth caring about. Makes you use your imagine. Are you using your imagine? Movies with similar taste and feeling. Oh, okay, this will be good. Knowing with N. Cage.
Less biblical, literally speaking, as opposed to what you initially would think.
Yeah, figuratively biblical. So it's related to They Live because both movies surprised them while they were watching it. Finally, a movie that deserves you. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. I actually had to pause the movie in the middle because the fear of becoming possessed by something I couldn't explain is apparently a new fear of mine.
I really looked forward to seeing this movie. It was recommended on Imager.
I disappointment tonight.
I disappointment in your review.
Is this what the director wants you to think, or it's just me? I don't even know what you're saying, so... Oh, I like how they capitalize every letter, every word in their review.
Okay, they basically forget that blind people can hear, and that when the monster part come, if this what they want us to conclude, then good job, that was epic, and if not, I think I need some help.
Yeah, I think you need some help regardless.
It's so worth watching. Absolutely the best movie of 2018. I really like it. It's a it's a... Oh, maybe like a scary story? A boo story? Boo story.
No, there's no way that's what they meant.
I think that's what they meant. The characters and their journey was so relatable and real. Their struggle was real. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times like these demons have like showed up in the sky, and I was like, oh damn it, where's my blindfold?
Wish I could have my 2 hours back or even be blind like the kids at the end. I would rather watch Shrek 3 100 times in a row.
As a horror enthusiast, I was hoping for Big Thing from Bird Box.
These people exist in real life, and they write and probably speak like this in real life.
I mean, how can 34 million streamers be wrong? What a way to like decide what you're gonna watch.
Yeah. I jumped on the bandwagon and it turned out to be a bad idea. Well, I'm gonna go to the bathroom because that movie was full of shit.
If you want us to watch more like shitty movies that make us want to kill ourselves, like and subscribe. You'll be to blame.